Wow, there's nothing as awesome as a good stretch out. Oh, what? Oh, what's this?
Perhaps I can hold it. Yeah, I got you.
What?
I gotta get out of here. It's like this thing has a mind of its own.
Welcome to SOG Solutions.
Hey guys, have you ever wanted to upgrade your skills in the tech sector or just wanted to learn some cool coding techniques? Then this video is for you. Come on, let's go. Today, we'd be talking about HTML. Now, have you ever seen some websites with very cool and well-designed interfaces? Well, all that is made possible with a combination of many things, including HTML. HTML is a web language, which means it's used in creating web apps. Also, it is very key in front-end technology. I mean user interfaces kind of stuff. Yes, so HTML, as it may sound, is actually an acronym for Hypertext Markup Language. A markup language is one which helps to structure text, making it readable by both humans and machines. In a markup language, you see things like tags and attributes. Let's get started. HTML is divided into two parts. The first is documents and the second is tags. Okay, so listen.
So what are documents? Documents, of course, are written down text which contain all the info of the web application or site. They are the main constituents of the HTML document. What are tags? In HTML, tags are used to define an element. They help to structure the documents or info in the HTML file. A tag typically constitutes of an attribute, well, that's if need be, an opening tag, and a closing tag. Also, it's not all elements that have a closing tag. Some elements or tags are self-closing, which means they don't need a closing tag. Note, tags can also be called elements. But the main difference is that tags are the actual tools used in structuring documents, and elements are the object or action represented by the tags. Okay, so before we get coding, let's run through some basic HTML tags and syntaxes, so you'd understand the concept. Remember to have your IDE or text editor with you as you'd be running the output and looking at the actual effects of HTML in practical aspects when we begin coding. Most programmers prefer to use a desktop as it'll provide a very comfortable environment. While coding, you could also access an IDE or text editor via your smartphone store by downloading it .eg Play Store, Apple Store. So before we run across the HTML tags, let's talk about a recent advancement in HTML called HTML5. HTML5 is an upgraded HTML version. It's denoted by the doctype HTML tag, which you can see here. It has so many upgrades that were not in the original HTML version, such as according semantic elements or tags, which help to add more beauty to the website, e.g. header tag, footer tag, navigation tag. Multimedia elements or tags. These are tags that help put things like video and audio on a site, e.g. video tag, audio tag. Interactive elements, drag and drop, geolocation, and so on. Note HTML5 has many more features in which programmers use to create very engaging user interfaces. Also note that some formerly used HTML tags got depreciated in HTML5, meaning they are not in use anymore. Okay, so let's quickly run through some basic tags before we code. First is the HTML tag, which is denoted by this. As you can see, the HTML tag has both an opening and a closing tag. The opening tag is the first tag, while the closing tag is the second. Now, the HTML tag is practically the first tag that comes in every HTML file. It is second only to the doctype HTML tag. Remember, if you include the doctype HTML tag in your code, as the first tag, it means your HTML code was written using HTML file. So the HTML tag provides the foundation of the HTML document, and all other tags are nested within it. The next tag is the head tag, which is denoted by this. The head tag helps to provide metadata about the document. It is placed between the HTML tag and the body tag. The head tag typically contains info that isn't directly visible to the user, but is instead used by browsers, search engines, and so on to understand the nature of the document. Some common tags that are normally nested in the head tag are title tags, meta tags, link tag, and script tags. Take note, Nesting is the act of putting one tag into another. The next tag is the title tag, which is denoted by this. As it sounds, the title tag is a tag that defines the title of a web page. It is placed or nested within the head tag and is used to provide the summary of page's content. The title of the web page, which is what is written in the title tag, is displayed in the browser's title bar, hence providing a clear indication of the page's content. All right, so the next tag is the body tag. Now this tag is one of the main tags in HTML, as a very high number of tags are nested in it. It encompasses the main body of the HTML file, and tags nested in it include the paragraph tags, section tags, video tags, article tags, input tag, audio tags, header tags, footer tags, table tags, and so on. The paragraph tag. This tag helps in writing and structuring text. Its main purpose is to accept text in and structure it in particular places in the website. The paragraph tag also has an opening and closing tag, and the written text is situated in the middle of the opening and closing tags. Note: as you can see the opening and closing tags here, e.g. for the paragraph tag, that's the same way it is for all other tags that are not self-closing. All right, so the next tags are the audio and video tags. Yeah, these tags are, of course, used to input audios and videos into the website. Okay, just chill. We'd use all these tags in practical aspect in a bit. We're getting closer. Yeah, so this is where attributes come in. Note: attributes tell the browser more about our HTML file. So the audio and video tags are used with three main attributes, which are the SRC attribute. This attribute is used for accepting the link of the video or audio. Controls attribute. You know audios and videos must have a mechanism to increase and reduce volume. Exactly this control attribute helps in making all that possible. Type attribute. This attribute helps specify what kind of input it is, video or audio, which one exactly. The next tag is the input tag. Now this tag is the first self-closing tag we're going to talk about. As you can see, it only has an opening tag and no closing tag. Self-closing tags close automatically. Now the input tag also uses attributes to specify the type of input. These are some common attributes that are used with the input tag. The type attribute, just as the type attribute is used with the audio and video tags to specify the kind of files that are imputed, the type attribute is also used with the input tag to specify the kind of object that is imputed. The placeholder attribute. This attribute helps you to write faint details of what is needed to be imputed in an object. Example: you know those boxes where you're asked to fill in your name, and you see something like enter your name here, written in faint letters? Well, the box is as a result of the type attribute, and the faint letters are as a result of the placeholder attribute. Yeah, I congratulate you guys for watching the video up to this point. Please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Like really, it's going to give us the encouragement to keep on posting videos like this one. All right? I know what's in your mind. Quit explaining and get coding. Just hold on. We're closer than it looks. So the last two HTML tags we would be talking about today, before we get coding, would be the division tag and the break tag. The division tag, which is denoted as the div, as it sounds, is used for structuring text into divisions, e.g. to take a group of divided text to the right side of screen, center, or to the left. Note, to achieve this, moving to the right, center, or left the div tag is normally used with the style attribute. Then this attribute has properties and values specifying where you want to take the text to. Also note that using the style attribute is a form of CSS called inline CSS. Well, CSS is just what is used to design HTML. Don't let us divert. We would give a full detailed explanation of CSS in our next video. Stay tuned. Oh, and by the way, just so you'd know, CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets. Okay, so the last basic HTML tag you need to know before we get coding is the break tag, and it's denoted by this. Yeah, so the break tag is also a self-closing tag, which means it closes automatically. It doesn't have a closing tag. The break tag is used when you want to end a sentence and continue in another line. It helps if you want to end the sentence at that point. All right. So listen, guys, although there are still more tags in HTML, these are the basic tags which helps you to structure an HTML document. So let's get coding, shall we? Yeah, so the text editor we'd be practicing with is called Code Editor. You can find it for Androids on the Play Store and for iPhones on the Apple Store. Or if you're with a desktop, you could install an IDE like Versus Code via a browser and follow the laid down prompts to set up the IDE's environment. No worries, it's very easy to get coding as a beginner. Yeah, as you can see, the text editor has the symbol of a tag labeled on it. Let's go.
Okay, so the first tag here is the doctype HTML tag, signifying the HTML document is written in HTML5. Okay, let's quickly take that down. Okay, so remember that the next tag after the doctype HTML tag is the actual HTML tag, which signifies the beginning of the HTML document, and all other tags are nested in it. Alright, let's quickly take that down. You'd notice that I would begin nesting the head tag inside the HTML tag, and after, inside the head tag I would nest the title tag. Remember, the spaces left after every new line just makes the work neater. It doesn't affect the syntax of the HTML document. You could as well make all new sentences start without an indentation or space, but that will give a rough work. Yeah, so we would call our website Practice, just to show that we are practicing HTML. Also note that our HTML document is saved as a file known as index.html. If you look to your top left, you'd see it. Note that if you do your files on your local storage and open the index.html via a browser e.g. Chrome, it'll display its content, and you'd be able to see the site name, which is what's in the title tag, Practice, on the browser's title bar, and this is also the same for other text editors. Okay, now the body tag, as you can see here, is the next tag we are using. Feel free to go back to the explanation class to easily understand the tags again. Remember that the body tag contains most tags in HTML, so you'd see as we'd be nesting other tags in it, starting with the paragraph tag. Also, do you remember that the paragraph tag is used for taking in text? Yes, so to practice we'd write, "Hello, welcome to practice," with the paragraph tag, and you'd see it'll display what is written in the paragraph tag on the site when we run it. Alright, so let's run it and see. Okay, now let's use the break tag. Remember that the break tag is used to end a sentence and continue in another line. So watch as we put the break tag at the end of the statement, "Hello, welcome to practice," and then write a new sentence on that same line after the break tag, and let's see what it does. So let's run it and see. You'd notice that the "How are you doing" statement is continued under the "Welcome to practice" statement. Alright, the next tag is the input tag. Remember that just like the break tag, the input tag is also a self-closing tag, meaning it doesn't have a closing part or tag. Also, it's used with attributes such as the type and placeholder attribute. Remember that the placeholder attribute is used if the type attribute is specified to text. There are many specifications for the type attribute. Let's see some of them in use and what they do. Okay, remember that the placeholder attribute is used to input faint text into the type text specifier object. Okay, let's make the name object look more attractive by adding a name text to it. Okay, so let's run it. As you can see, we have a box, which was as a result of the text type specifier, and in the box you have enter your name written in faint details, which was as a result of the placeholder attribute. Okay, so let's change the text specifier to another type of specifier called the radio specifier with the type attribute. This gives you a circular object, which you can toggle. Okay, let's try out another kind of specifier called the checkbox specifier with the type attribute. This gives you a square-shaped object, which you can also toggle. Alright, so let's try out the audio tag. Remember that the audio tag works with the SRC, controls, and type attribute. Also, the SRC attribute is to input the audio file into the site, the controls attribute is to enable mechanisms such as volume in the audio, and the type attribute there is used to specify what kind of file you're imputing. Okay, so note that my audio would not exactly play something as I didn't attach any audio file to it with the SRC attribute. But if you do, yours would play the audio that you attach to it.
Okay, so that's it for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video on HTML. Stay tuned for our next videos, as we'd be dropping very educative content on tech and whatnot. And remember, please like, share, and subscribe. Bye.